Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Mediumcore. Today I'm going to work on these two plots here and here. This one's just going to be a small little house and I'm not sure about that. As I said in this episode, I want to fill out these two little plots, and as I said, that's going to be a small little house. Excuse me, sorry. And I think this one will just be maybe just a larger house. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll make it into a small shop. Just a little convenience store. Or actually, you know what? I think a clothing store would be good. Because there's no clothing stores anywhere in this entire place. So I think this would make a good clothing store. Which of course is going to make it incredibly tedious to build, but it is what it is. And I think after that, yeah, there's two left. And I'll probably do each of these in one episode. And then that'll be approaching episode 100. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to cut this series off at episode 100. Just because at that point it'll be running a bit long. So yeah, the end is nigh. And to make up for it, I'm going to build a tiny little house. It's not the focus of this episode, so I didn't put a lot of effort into this little house. As a result, it doesn't look perfect, but it fits. It's just tucked in nicely with the rest. It's a little bland. I did the best I could to spice it up and texture it with windows and such. But yeah, it's a little plain, but that's okay because it's not very important. It's something you just walk right on by. Got that next to it and that next to it, and those are what draws your eye, so that's what's important. The inside's not much more detailed. Just a little furnace, a little sink. This is supposed to be like a little micro wardrobe storage space. And then they've got a little bed, some bookshelves, a little potted plant that they're taking care of, and I decided that whoever lives here is kind of bookish. So I've got a blank book that maybe one day they'll write. But that's that. One's not really very important, not really anything special about it, it's just there. But what is important and what is the focus of this episode is right here. And this footprint is kind of small, so I might extend it a bit. But yeah, I want this to be the multi-floored clothing shop, and I want this one to be fancy. Kind of like how I made the bakery. That's kind of what I want this to be, though not quite the same. I don't want it to have a big glass wall. But that's kind of what I want it to be. I want it to be a fancy shop. You can instantly recognize what it's supposed to be. And I think the bakery looks good, and that's what I want from this. I want the clothing store to be good. And I want it to, well, not really functional, but I want it to actually have stuff in it, like armor stands with different sets of dyed leather armor. I'll actually probably put the effort into custom dyeing these ones instead of just putting one dye on and continuing. I'll probably put effort into these to make them look nice. Since it is a clothing shop after all, and you want your clothes to look nice, not vibrant blue or aggressive blood red. Unless you do like your clothes like that, who am I to judge? I started working on this build, and I like where it's going so far, because I'm pretty sure I said this earlier, but I have a big plan for what I want to do with this, and it was actually kind of difficult getting it to fit exactly how I wanted it to look, but because I was trying to do different things that I've already done before, stuff like that and that, for the moving between levels, and I settled on this, which I did over there. And I think this fits well with what I wanted. And there's no interior yet, no floor or anything. But I'm planning on having this be 3 floors, and then a roof on top. So the second floor will be just this extra height, and I think I'm going to make the walls out of like sandstone and sand. Kind of like what's happening over there, but without the birch. No birch in this one. And then the roof is going to be made out of black stone. And I think the color combinations will look good. So that's where I'm headed with this. But I'm going to build the second and possibly third layer, and then we'll see how it's going. Looks a little weird right now. Okay, it looks a lot weird. And I'll probably have to do a bit more flattening it over here. But that's what I've been planning, is to have this little extension out here for this third floor. I don't think it looks too bad. I think the second floor here looks good. So that's that, and that's where I'm headed with this. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do a lot more flattening out in this area, and if I flatten this out, I might actually put another building here. We'll have to see. And I could probably cut it off right here, since there's already a natural dip right here. And then that would make that look a bit more natural. And so this isn't resting right above the ground, because I don't want that. Especially since I'm going to eventually have a sign hanging out from under that. Because when the third floor is complete, I'm going to have cross beams supporting it, and then right in the dead center there's going to be a hanging sign to show that it's a clothing shop. And that's what I want. That's where I'm going with this. And then the other sides are just kind of plain, kind of boring, nothing to see. And that's okay. Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't need windows on them, just because you won't ever see the backside, because it's right up against a natural kind of cliff hill wall, and that part won't go away. And you won't see this side either, because there's a building right there. So that's fine. You just need the windows in the front, and I think the windows in the front look pretty good. The vision in my head has come to pass, and I think it actually looks better than I even expected. I really like how this turned out, and yeah, I like it. I think it looks pretty good. And I've got a full interior done as well, which was a pain in the butt, I must say. But I think it suits what I wanted it to be. And this is kind of what it looks like from the side. I decided not to build anything here because flattening this out entirely would have looked kind of weird, so I just kind of leveled it off a little bit. So this almost touches the ground, which doesn't look the best, but it doesn't touch the ground. It kind of hovers above it. But here I've got a little sign, tunics, robes, breeches, etc. Little symbols, in case you can't read. And then there's little support struts for this extension of the building. And then in the building, we got the bottom floor, we got some on-display clothing items. This color, I really like this color, and I really like this color as well. And then over here we got a little counter, little barrel for the purchases, and then a little, these are supposed to be like dye vats, but you can't add dye to cauldrons in Java, which sucks, but it's like one of the only good things about Bedrock Edition. But it is what it is. And then up here on the second floor we got some more displays. I really like this color as well. That's a nice color. And then over here we've got just like supposed to be like shelves of clothes, not shelves like barrels obviously, but it's just supposed to be large displays of clothes, different colors. Oops. Different colors. The trousers are a lot more dull than the tunics, obviously. And then, so that's that. And then the third floor, this main area is kind of plain, just a little seating area with a little coffee table, some artwork to appreciate. And then we've got a little bedroom, separate wardrobe, separate beds. It'd be like that sometimes. And then originally there was carpets to cover these little spots where the wood shines through, but between the beds and the door from the wardrobe, I deemed it not important to have 2 carpets down, so I just let those be. But that's that, and that's that build. I'm actually really proud with how that turned out. I think it looks really good, and I enjoyed making this build. I actually planned this one out in advance, so it actually went well, and I enjoy it. I like this build. I like this build a lot, and I think it looks good. So I hope you think it looks good too, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Minecraft Medium Core, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.